the thing that's live. Welcome, everybody. How's everyone doing? Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Such a beautiful day. I had to. I had to. Had to. So we're just gonna wait a few minutes, see if anyone hops on into live, joins the chat. Hope everyone's well. We're still resting from the upgrades from last week. Very much so, still in integration, but I could feel the shift out of the void starting last night, starting yesterday. And so yeah, very much so, just kind of taking time to be at peace with self, to be at peace with where we're at in our life, and what we're transitioning into, right? And I feel like that's a big portion of the acceptance piece of this journey right now is the constant fluid motion of transition, and what that means in our energetic space, what that means in our day-to-day routine, what it means in how we choose to show up in our own creations, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a businessman. The redirective currents of 2022 and what's been even occurring in my own life, very much so feels kind of like a Saturn return. Um, Very quick to witness the collapse, but very quick to get into the realignments too. And that's been a very key one for myself, has been making sure that when it comes to witnessing my own evolution, is knowing when it's time to realign the reality and when the reality is falling out of alignment. And then making sure to really like quickly adjust, get back up on the feet and get moving, right? Because it seems like, at least for myself, there's the periods of rest, right? There's the periods of rest, but there's also the periods too of realigning and getting into the doing space of the reality. Especially, when we start to anchor in a lot of those like six dimensional pathways, this is where I find a lot of that going and doing energy starting to happen. And if anyone follows Brother Alexander over on Galactic Tarot, he spoke of the angelic timeline, and I was able to hold the 70 angel timeline, the angelic timeline, for about 2 days before the body's like nope. And then it was about that once again. You anchor in that pathway, right? You anchor it in, and then you start to dissolve all the discord and everything that needs to go. So you're kind of like shown what the reality is, right? It anchors in, you hold it in the body, and then you start to witness everything that's falling out of alignment with that. And it's about bringing it back into alignment, especially when it comes to these sacred pathways, right? Is that a part of the sacred pathway is that it's, I found it's not defined, but it's rather following a feeling within self of what it is to be sacred, to be witnessing yourself as sacred, and then to treat all as sacred as well. And you can start to see how quickly, by just making one choice, how the pathway starts to misalign. So whether this is food, thought, a way of treating someone, a way of treating the body, self-talk, it's really important for all of us to identify within our own selves, in our own versions of our own individuated pathway, how to really key in and dial in to that moment when things collapse. So a part of this is what I do is I ask that question to the universe, right? What created the collapse, right? What created the instability? And then I also begin to show gratitude for the instability and for that for witnessing where it collapsed, because it gives me an opportunity to repair the foundations and to finalize what this new pathway means for me. Because it is an energetic pathway. There's no rule book, right? So there's no defined rule on how these pathways work within the quantum. But we can start to see how things fall out of alignment and what choices we make, so we can begin building healthier bridges to what that newer foundation is for ourselves, right? So it is one of those things that it's like practice makes perfect, once again, and also to not judge yourself when the reality collapses, right? Because some things are not built to last, especially if it's based upon a belief system. There's a distortion that gets in the way, or there's a personal viewpoint or a personal judgment that needs to shift, right? So there is a lot of this transitionary energy that is still flowing through. And I've even had discussions with a few people that are in this transitionary energy where they feel like they've got 1.5 feet in the new pathway or the new timeline, or some people are right in the middle of it. And the more that we recognize that it's just a part of us shifting out old belief systems, old ideologies, old behaviors to fully anchor into that new, the more that we could settle into what engaging with these new pathways is. And for a while, it's very normal to get a glimpse of it, to get like a day or two, or to get like a spontaneous expansion of feeling it, and then to not feel it because that spontaneous expansion creates that the writing in of what this new narrative is, and then everything else is just the dissolution of the old, so you could fully walk what this newness is, right? Fully walk what this newness is. And it really is a part of the new foundations and the new pathways and the upgrades is very much so a space of feeling. So I've even noticed like things are a little bit more synchronistic. Some things are a little bit more brighter in the colors and in the tones, but it really is about the feel. And I can feel the energy when I'm there. I can feel the softness. I can feel that I'm in that angelic tone or that angelic hue. And I can also feel the ease and the grace and the flow and the opportunities that are opening up for myself as well. Now, the thing is, though, is that you can also begin to, because it is an amplified existence in regards to light, the amount of light quotient that's held in the body and the amount of light it takes to sustain the reality, you can also feel when it gets discordant, right? And then it really is up to us to bring that back into alignment and to tune in deep and to ask our universe, what is it that I need to do to bring this into alignment? How do I shift this out? What do I need to do? Do I need to rearrange my life a little bit more? Do I need to change routine? Is there something that I can dial into in my own personal life in regards to belief system to shift these things out? Or is it something I just need to let go of and surrender to, right? And so it has been very, very important in the pathways to really, for all of us to dial into what our unique expression and unique opportunity is and really finding ways to be able to achieve that from within. So, especially self, it's been, very much so stepping more into more of the creative outlet, especially in regards to business, which there's some things I want. Oh, I didn't bring the bracelet. Darn it. I know I forgot something. Um, some things I wanted to talk about with the new pathways. I've actually been working on prototyping a new dream shield. So I've got it here. And essentially what I've been doing is I've been working with driftwood. So I've been working with driftwood. Why driftwood? Well, it's been exposed to the elements, which I like. So we've got Gaia's natural alchemy being born of these new creations. But this, I decided to prototype this dream shield, which is essentially it's one part of the code is a sealed in shield for Dreamtime. So kind of like a sacred container to help to shield us in dream time and to work with our highest dream expression as we are flying through the cosmos. And then we do have of one part is an energy recharge, and the other part is dream recall to help to do recall. And then I have a personal codex in the third part of the dream shield. So these are things that I'm prototyping and working with myself right now to see how it feels and what needs to be updated. There's a few sacred components that I need to add to it, but a lot of that is resources and getting the people together to help out because I can't do it all. But right now, so far, I'm day 2 into the Dream Shield, and I will say I'm sleeping a lot better as a result of it, and I'm waking up more recharged in the morning, especially since I did the recharge code for the light body. And so these will be out soon. So I was working with the wands and decided to put the wands away temporarily to be able to focus more on the dream shield and more on the boundaries. So if you guys are interested, please let me know. There's something about having a Gaian component in bed to help with grounding and to bring in the crystalline elements into dream time. I've also found too that with my boundary tools, that if I lay it down on the ground or I have it at my feet, it's able to recharge more, and it really helps with just being able to ground in and allow more of that Gaian tone into our dream time and also into the recharge throughout the day. So if you guys are interested at all in a dream shield or in any form of like foundry or any form of purpose with light coded art, reach out to me. Reach out to me because a lot of this I'm working with soul codes. So a lot of the codes are individuated for the person's expression to activate and to awaken something within them, something that is dormant. And so these aren't one size fits all, and I like that they're becoming a little bit more custom. So if you'd like a dream shield or you'd like any sort of energetic boundary tool, or anything for the home or for your sacred space, please reach out to me, foundersoflight.org, because we're going to have more of these coming up soon. And it's really special working with the driftwood and working with the native land, just because it's got that natural Gaian alchemy born of it. And so it's already working with the water elements, and it's been charged energetically. They've been blessed, and I also work with the elementals, and I work with Gaia to be able to bring these pieces forward. And so prototyping this has been fun. It took about all day to craft, and so far, last 48 hours, sleep has been amazing. Recharge has been absolutely phenomenal. I still have to work on the Dreamtime processing code though. So the processing code is the only thing that I'm got to work through. So if you guys are interested in those, please reach out. I also still have some bracelets available. So I do have what do I have? I have the Divine Child bracelet still available. I've also got the intuitive bracelet up on my community page if you guys are interested. And then as well as what was the other one? Oh, the lunar landing bracelet. The lunar landing bracelet. And so I just got a shipment in too, so there's more beads to come. I'm actually prototyping another bracelet for myself right now to work with some healing tools and to be able to work with that sacred technology more, because it's been really exciting expanding those gifts and getting the downloads and working with the different beads and the different light codes and creating those things. Also, too, something I wanted to mention as a quick little tutorial, guys, is working with light codes. Working with light codes. So if any of you guys are light coders, I just want to drop this tip to you. You can light code anything. You can light code anything. And so whether this is speaking light language, or it's setting intention in anything, whether it's in your crystals, in your minerals, even in your own foods, it's amazing. I've been doing it with creating holy water. So I've actually been, what I do, if anyone is curious to know, is I make special blends of, oils and different waters and things like this. So this is just water and Himalayan sea salt. Let it charge in the sun. I ask the sun to bless and to light and code the water, and then I hold it in my hands and pray over it. Setting that sacred intention that it'll help to purify my field, to purify my body, especially if I've been going through a lot of different energetic rewirings and rewrites. This has been really helpful. But you can simply hold it in your hands, guys, and just set that intention. It's really important when we are doing prayer work or we're doing light code work to get our heart open. So doing what you can to get centered and to get balanced into your body and to get your heart chakra open, whether you command it, you work with crystals, you work with sage or smudge, get that heart open and then set that intention. Whether you want to hold it at your heart or you want to send the energy through your palms, what I do is I tend to open the heart and then I will bring the energy through into my palm chakras, open up my palms, sit there, and then I'll speak light into it or I'll pray over it, whatever the intention is for the day. And I found this has been really good not only with waters, but also with lotions and salves. So if you are someone who's been working with body consciousness, who's been repairing the physical body, or is learning about self-love and self-care with the body, this is really good with lotions and with oils. Okay. So it's something that I've been doing as a part of my sacred practice about coming back into the body, has been light encoding self-love into my oils and into my lotions, purification of the body, self-care. You can also work with it with hydrating your cells, whatever intention you want to set. This comes back to a lot of that Dr. Emoto work, guys. And I wanted to state that because these things help to bring magic and creation into all that we do, right? And so if we think that we can light code or light charge anything, we can start being more intentional with our day and intentional with the products that we use, right? Same thing goes with foods, right? Is blessing our foods and asking that any density be transmuted across all time, space, space, time, across all dimensions, seen and unseen, from the foods that we're eating. Being able to light and code our foods has been really important as well. And these are things that I've discussed. I think I discussed it with, did I talk about it with Nike? I think I talked about it with Angela. There was someone that I discussed it with online where we were talking about foods and using our foods to reprogram our foods and to be more intentional with our creations. And I wanted to give you guys this little tip because it really starts to be a seed of creation that can expand out in all that we do, where we can become more intentional with what energy we are putting into what we do, and then we can start to turn it into a sacred practice. And I've found that it has added a lot of value in regards to my own creations, And I have found that it has helped a lot in being able to strip out a lot of the toxic belief systems out of my own life, but also finding that like grounded practical means for our magic, right? Because we talk about magic a lot. I know I talk about magic a lot, but then it's like, what is it? And it's like that heart-centered love of miracle that we embed in all that we do through sacred intention and through sacred practice. And then pretty soon it opens up a new level of reality when we can begin to receive that intention as well. And so by doing little things like light encoding our water, light encoding our food, speaking intention into our own cells and into our own body, or speaking it into our like our body butters and our lotions and our oils, especially when it comes to self-care and self-love, or whatever healing intention that you want to add to it, you're now going to begin to start to see results. You're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to feel lighter. You're going to glow more. I promise you on this one, right? But it is about the direction of the belief system into what we are doing and how it helps us to awaken to our own level of magic, right? Our own magic. And so it's been something that's been really fun and intentional and something that we can do with all of our creations, whether it's, once again, water, oils, salves, lotions, especially with body consciousness. It's helped for me to heal a lot of trauma and body issues, but it's also opened up another level of revelation of my own life in regards to deprogramming and in regards to my own belief systems, right? So it's helped to shed a lot of the old and to awaken to a lot of what my magic is and how this is grounded practical magic can be used in our day to day, and then how it can be shared with others, right? Because the thing is a lot of these creations start out as creations for self, tools for healing, energy tools, and then as a result, right, we start to see that there might be people who want to invest in this, or there might be people that want to play in these realms with you, or you can start sharing this with the world, right? And it really is as simple as sitting down and setting that intention in all that you do, and you're going to start to see it open up a whole new world for you, and a world of peace, a world of love, a world of beauty, and a world that feels very familiar when you tap into it, based upon the level of consciousness that you hold, and maybe some past lives as well. And we could start to use this work to heal our relationships with others. We could start to use this to heal our relationship with the world, our relationship with Mother Earth, our relationship with water, and our relationship with our magic. This is how we become that bridge of consciousness, guys. Is really by simply sitting down and doing things like this. I found that it's opened up new levels of opportunity, new creative insight. I've gotten a lot more downloads as a result of the different things I can do, and it just keeps expanding, right? So think about being able to set intention or to be able to light code just a drop of water, and think about how that ripples out and how we can start to expand that into all that we do and where it can go. Sky's the limit, guys, when it comes to working with light and working with our magic and working with our tools. And there's nothing secret about this. It's just as simple as setting an intention, declaring the purity of your love, light and codes, all that you do, and then going about your day and whipping the magic into that, whether it's in your own food, your own creations, your own body, whether it's with Mother Earth, with Gaia, with your crystals, however it is that you want to do. You are the beacon of hope that can begin to share that magic in all that you do. And it's very simple, it's very heart centered, and it can get crafty and it can get creative and it can get fun. Um, so have fun with it, explore with it, enjoy it. This is your creation, this is your magic, and we're all here just settling into how simple it is to be in this heart-centered expression, and then also how we can go about and share that with the world, because this is the magic that touches other people's lives, and it creates hope, it creates inspiration, it creates change, it creates love, it creates new opportunity, it creates miracles. But it starts with you believing that you are the magic, that you are the creation, that you are the hopeful one, that you are prosperous in all that you are, in all that you do. Um, that your creative awareness can shine through, and you can be that beacon of hope that embeds and seeds that creation in every life that you touch. Okay. So just a way of having fun, and something I wanted to share as a little tip and as a little tool. Light language is something that's been really fun for me to do, to expand on my gifts and abilities. And so if anyone's interested in learning light language, please reach out to me. Once again, foundersoflight@gmail.com. We're looking at setting up some sort of tutorial for light language more, but there's also a lot of great resources online as well. So if you go on, YouTube, right, and just type in how to speak light language, you're gonna find a lot of wonderful people who have been sharing their gifts for quite some time, that have also helped me to open up at greater and greater levels to my light and to my light encoded work. And once that opened up for me, there was a whole new realm of possibilities that are starting to open up in regards to what how we can flow with creation and how we can flow with our own art and our own artistic expression. Something I just wanted to share. Something I just wanted to share. So how's everyone doing? How we all hanging out there? Where's everyone tuning in from? Hello Michelle. Hello Suhail. Awesome, Betty. Awesome. Cool, cool. I'm glad to see you guys. Yeah, Merlin's been coming through a lot. Michelle mentioned Merlin. There's been a lot of wizard support showing up on how to, for myself at least, I've been noticing this because, especially when you come from the realms of some of the shadowy side of our magics and how we play within those creations, it's been a big healing journey. The past 48 hours has definitely been focused on what we can do to harmonize with our magic, our own magic of love, and not play into the old stuff because it's definitely been up for review on whether we're going to play in that distortion and whether we're going to let it go. And a lot of it is that some of us do have still some aspects of us that are a little bit more madmen. And it can be fun to play there, right? It can be fun to play there, but it is a very destructive and deconstructive reality over time. I've found it's not sustainable, at least for myself, and especially when it comes to anchoring into the higher trajectories. And so it's been one of those where I love working with my wizardry. I love working with those different aspects. But as far as sustainability is concerned, when it comes to being comfortable in those realms and also our own relationships, it's been important to harmonize and to bring those things into balance. And so that's definitely been a focus over the last 24 hours too, has been, bringing these aspects into balance, seeing where they're still acting out of alignment and sitting down and bringing them in and going, yo, what's going on? Going on, right? Let's bring you into alignment and really having that discussion, but also taking our power back from a lot of different aspects as well. So we're not giving our power away to our guardians because we are the guardian. It is us. So a part of that has been, staying out of the idolization patterns, staying away from pedestaling guides and beings and really recognizing that they are a version of us, but not allowing them to run amok in our own reality and to really feel safe with who we are in our magic and in our wizardry as well. So yeah, there has been a lot of that Merlin code coming through, but also too there's been a lot of that bringing peace to those lines that were a little bit more chaotic in the past, and bringing the love back to them, bringing the love back to them. So we're going to do a little bit of a Celtic cross for the collective today. A little Celtic cross, see what wants to come through for us. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for showing up. Hope everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing well. Let's see what messages want to come forward for us today. All right, so we're looking at balancing. All right, so clouding the reading, we're looking at balance, achieving balance, achieving balance. Looking good. Cool. All right, so we're achieving balance. At the heart of the reading, Seven of Wands, crossing the Empress. Okay, so what we're looking at is at the heart of the reading, taking the high road, which is good. But crossing the reading right now is our fertility. So it's about the fertility of our own creations and essentially what we need as nutrients for our soul to thrive. So this is a part of the balancing of certain aspects that's coming through right now is how we maintain and sustain balance. So it is that being state and that acting state, finding how we recover from the expansions, but also our integration time moving forward as we're achieving what these pathways are for us. So we're in the space of taking the high road, but with the Empress card, we're looking at the fertility of our own creations. So we now have to start looking is not seeding or popping those creations. And so we are kind of looking at a birthing process and what we need to be able to achieve that. So at the energetic foundations, we're looking at the Three of Cups. So we're looking at the energy of celebration, right? So very much so in the essence of play, but also making sure that we are surrounding ourselves with other individuals that are in that place of like party on Wayne, party on Garth, right? In all that we do. So this could be in the sense of feeling really adventurous in all that we do, making sure that it is in that space of loving kindness in regards to how we're connecting with other people, but very much so celebrating our own creations. So this might actually be a really important formula for us to dial into when it comes to these pathways, making sure that we're engaging with that of that celebration, that fun, that dance, that party, that play. Um, for some of you, though, I will state this could be in regards to substances, right? So this could be some people want to start to loosen it up a little bit, have a little bit more fun. Either way, what this is this really is about allowing the body to open up to what it is to live this new lifestyle or these new pathways. And so a part of this is enjoying all that we do, celebrating. This doesn't have to be partying in the polarized context, right? Where we start to make those decisions. You know what I mean? Those decisions where you wake up and go, oh God, why did I do that? Either way, we're making sure that as we're engaging with one another as our unified creation, that we're enjoying and celebrating all that we do. At the cosmic level, we're looking at the hangman. So nature, very much so, a part of this supporting, right, is that we are in this place of kind of the upside down mode. Getting those downloads, getting that creative insight, and finding a way to be able to celebrate our own downtime, right? So whether this celebration point is with other people, right, is also noting that if we just go out in nature and meditate, that can be a form of celebration as well. It's going to open us up to those downloads, right? This is how we open up to receive that insight, to receive that clarity, to receive that knowing, but also to, in regards to what it is to be fertile within our creations, we are being asked to go within, to get out into nature, and to discover what it is in order to feel fertile in our creation. And so whether this is, working with our womb portal, working with our womb chakra, or whatever our body, mind, soul needs to be able to feel fertile in our creations and to receive that creative insight, to receive that creative download. We have to be able to open up to receive those things. But there's also ingredients that we can set up in our own reality for success. Whether it's getting out into nature, it's going on walks, maybe spending time with other people celebrating. Either way, we are celebrating this new pathway that's opening up for us, but we're finding what it is to be receptive within that pathway as well. So if it feels like it's a doing pathway, like myself included, the pathway lately has been feeling like get up, get the work done, go out, find the wood, make the orders, put the thing together, do the thing. It's a lot of doing energy. So a lot of this Empress energy is how do we get back into that being state so we can still receive? We don't want to burn out on these pathways. And so as a result, the hangman energy is very much so coming in, asking us to get with that Gaian realm, right? Get with that receptivity. Start getting into that meditative practice so you can receive the downloads in regards to your own creations or what you can do moving forward. So in the past, Ace of Pentacles, there's the download, there's the reception, there's God's hand coming out and giving us the gift of the new pathway, of the new code, the new whatever this is, the new download. For some people, this might have been a physical manifestation as well. Either way, we were receiving the gift in the past, and in the future, once again, gifts, but we're looking at the perspective. So we are in this space right now of God's hand or the universe's hand gifting us right now, showing us the way, gifting us opportunity, gifting us insight, gifting us perspective. But see, we have two forms of nature showing up here. We have two hands of nature coming through here. So very much so an organic, natural realm induction for us to receive the gift from the universe that the universe is trying to gift to us. So for some people, if you haven't been receiving those downloads, you haven't been receiving the gifts, you haven't been unlocking the miracles, you haven't been unlocking these things, Gaia is coming through to state, hey, I have the perspective for you, I have the gift for you. But it's about us going out into nature to receive this from beyond the veil. This is why the meditative practice is going to be very important, because there's something that Gaia and our other dimensional versions wants to gift us right now, but we're going to find this out in nature, and nature is going to help us to shift the perspective. Okay, so advice from other dimensional versions: focus on the love, focus on the love, self-love, self-love. This could be soul tribe, this could be family. What is this, guys, in regards to? Okay, so this is in regards to self-love. So we're looking at the self-love, the self-nurture, the self-care, very important, especially in regards to this fertile energy, because here she is wearing her pomegranate cloak, which is a part of that fertility message for us, right? So a part of our fertility is really focusing on the self-love, in focusing on that union, focusing on that Eden code, that Eden gateway, that divine union from within, so we could be able to repair this self-love, so we can be able to really celebrate who we are and be able to celebrate that with one another, especially if we have a tribe that want to celebrate with us, right? We've got to feel that self-love and feel that self-care, because it can be felt, right, when someone's not in that space of really loving and honoring who they are. So we are very much so coming into this place of really doubling down on our own self-love, our own self-love. We're definitely seeing in our strength right now, we're seeing harmonized and balance between the masculine and feminine, the infinite form of creation, really standing empowered in all that we do. Hopes and fears, the pathway, the timeline. So we're looking at, I would see this as a hope. The hope is the pathway, that pathway that we want, especially as we're coming into that, taking the high road out of those situations that we are in, or what that new pathway is for us. We're definitely hoping for that pathway. And outcome, building. Here it is, guys. Here we are, building our future, building that client list, building that self-love. We are looking at the energy of building. So we are in that energy of doing, but once again, it's part of the balance point of this for ourselves is, how do we balance the doing and the being, right? And I talked about this in that sacred masculine video just recently, that was posted yesterday actually, is that state of doing, that state of action, that masculine energy. But now as we're refining these pathways, it's where is the fertility, where is the being? And how do we balance those things, and where can we find the perspective within these being states to be able to receive that next new? So a lot of people going through that, okay, Corey, you're talking about these pathways, but where are they? Why haven't they shown up, right? Where is that creative download? Where is that creative insight? That creative insight is going to be found with us within the space of nature, right? So Gaia has something that she's speaking to and through us, but it's up to us to get out under that tree, to sit down and to gain that perspective and to receive what this gift is. So we have a gift that's available to us. It's a gift from the cosmos, a gift from the ethers, but it's up to us to tune in to receive gift, and we receive it where? Out in nature. So her realms are speaking to us. Right? Her realms are sharing with us. But we have to tune into the softness of the subtle realms to listen to what that perspective is for us, and how we can gain our own clarity and our own insight moving forward. Okay. So yeah, looking good, guys, looking good. We've got some pathways opening up. We've got some options. We have choices in how we navigate these realms and how we navigate the trajectory moving forward. But it's very much so up to us to make that leap, to make that jump, and to take the courage to jump into those pathways. Okay. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That one looks good. Looks good. Looks good. No, we're not gonna do wisdom on you. All right. How's everyone doing? Let me read you. Nice, Michelle. Very nice. Oui, bonjour. Bonjour. Yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. That might also be what that Three of Cups energy is. That Three of Cups energy might be that everyone's feeling the Cinco de Mayo and everyone's going to start getting the going. All right. So, another thing too, if you guys are in that Cinco de Mayo celebration, have fun, stay safe. If you're gonna go out and you are going to go to the bar or whatever, I ask you to just please be responsible. And that's just from one loving neighbor to another, and someone who's lost a lot of friends over the years, to alcohol poisoning and to DUIs and to car accidents. Please just be safe, but have fun, have fun. It is a magical day. The realms are opening up. Gaia's expression is opening up for us, and we have a lot of opportunity right now to just like really double down on the self love. Some of us are still in integration from last week, guys. Remember, the super new moon eclipse that occurred was big. It was big. And so some of us are still settling into the body upgrades and into that integration. So if you feel like you just got to take it nice and slow and steady, pace yourself. Pace yourself. Right. This is a journey. Right. This is not a sprint. It is very much so a marathon. And when we have those opportunities to go and to shift through and to accelerate, we go with it. But we also recognize too that there are moments to just kick back and to pace ourselves, right? And so whether you feel like it's crunch mode, grind mode on, or it's just time to just like kick back and receive, I invite you to find out your harmonized truth with what you need in this now moment to shift into the new direction that's opening up for us, right? And that's a part of that pathway choice, the prayer for that pathway to align, that miracle pathway, that hopeful pathway, is that we can start to inspire ourselves to live by that hope every single day. And a lot of that is reframing the narrative and the self-talk. The self-talk is being key. Even myself, when I'm out and about and driving, or I'm out and about and I'm doing the thing, what am I saying to myself, right? And sometimes the monkey mind, the wandering mind, wants to go into those spaces. So about centering the mind, coming back into the center point and going, okay, I am hopeful. I am the beacon of love here. I am the magic, or I am abundant in all that I do, or I am prosperous, or I'm opening up in greater levels. I'm stronger and stronger every single day. I'm more resilient. I am more wise in all that I do. And, it feels repetitive and it feels quite interesting at times to do that, to just sit there and talk to myself, right? But I find that as I do that, it assists. And a lot of this too is in these realms is has been embedding embedding new belief systems that might feel quite infinite and expanded in places and spaces where they might not normally exist. So in states of being and in states of rest, marking that moment as a nodal point or opportunity. There was one that came through the other day from a guide. I was sitting there. Oh, I was driving to the store, and I heard you just made $100,000 going to the store, and I was like, oh, I didn't. They're like, you just made $100,000 going to the store, and it was like, oh yeah, and it was like, it's not that like that I necessarily need that right now, but like it was to play with the fact that guys, when we're harmonizing with magic, when it comes to playing with magic, that we can start to embed these wild ideas into places and spaces where they normally don't, they might not exist, like in a space of being, right? And here's the thing is that when it comes to these belief systems, you are going to encounter polarity, right? Even as I stated that, I felt it crunch up into the field, and I want to let you know you will experience polarity, especially if you still have polarity that you need to work with in regards to magic or abundance or friendship or creation in general. So I invite you and to know that you are here to shift that out based upon your free will, autonomy, and your sovereignty, and that you can shift out any of these creations, any of these old belief systems, or these old habits, or old routines, or old rituals, and you can start to seed in newness in all that you do. And so a part of that creation of being is that you can begin seeding in and downloading out of space and out of place, right? So it's very much so about being intentional to find this self-talk. So that, like, really, you just made $100,000 going to the store, was like this. Well, why couldn't that occur? Why couldn't that occur, right? And starting to play with those things, right? And the thing is that if you've got, fear, or you're questioning your reality, or you're questioning if that's possible or true, play with the magic and see, right? Because we can start to write in a whole bunch of babble that tells us that that couldn't occur, right? So why not write in some babble that's going to tell you that it could occur? Especially if you've got a family to support, especially if you've got food on the table, if you've got businesses and creations you want to do, especially if there's a house you want to buy, or you need a car to get to what you want to do, or you need transportation, you want to travel, you want to go to vacation, you want to do the thing, right? Why not begin to seed those things in and see where it goes, right? Especially if you're sending it from a space of pure divine love and a space of hope, right? Because that's the thing, is if it's heart-centered miracle with the intention of pure love, pure light coming through what you're seeding, right? There is nothing wrong with that. And this is where we have to be very mindful of our intention with what we're seeding in those spaces, right? Genevieve, you want land. Me too, right? So why not have that, like, what if that nap that you took where you said yes to the body and you said, you know what, I'm gonna make $100,000 right now during this nap so I can own that land, so I can create that sacred space for us to all have the campfires and have the music and have the festival to create that retreat center, right? Why not do that? If it's a purified, loving intention that you are setting and you are crystallizing into your future so you can have a home, so you can open up that home for other people, so you can have fields of food, right? You can open up that garden, you can open up that sanctuary. Why not? Why not crystallize these intentions? It might not be accelerating faster and faster in every now moment. We're going to start seeing these creations showing up, right? And we're going to start to see that there are people that want to support these ventures, that are good-hearted people that want to see you thrive, that want to see you succeed, right? It really is very much so about believing that there are people in this world that want to watch you thrive. There are people that genuinely love you and love what you do for this world and want to see you show up and to succeed, right? And it doesn't require money to purchase that, right? Success is very much so not defined by your paycheck, right? And that's a very old cultural wound that we work with, especially here in the United States. But if we see it as a tool that can assist you in being able to gather more resources to get, right, why not call that forward? And so, it's just like it's playing with different things like that, right? Is that a part of this is that the way we view a successful day or a successful relationship or a successful ever, we're the one that's redefining that because we're the one that's inspiring and sparking in the hope, and we're the one that are navigating the realms, navigating our own pathway, right? And so a part of this sovereign approach to our own free pathway is that we're the one that defines everything. And that's very much so a part of what this new is guys, throw the rule book at the window, right? There are no rule books anymore. The rule books very much so create limitations, right? So if we're looking at the freedom codes, the freedom alignment, the freedom of expression, the freedom of our own pathways, we're the one that defines everything in that pathway if we need to define it, because sometimes defining things can start to create limitations. And so some days it's playing with no belief, allowing yourself to just engage with quantum flow, but also recognizing that you're the one that defines a successful day. Whether it's you woke up with a smile on your face and you were harmonized and balanced the whole day, or you went out and you had the most blissful, amazing, joyous experience with other people, you went out and had a very synchronistic, magical day, or your day was just simple and you were able to breathe and stay peaceful and hopeful the whole day, right? You are the one that defines that for yourself. Okay. So then now what we're doing is we are now the internal governing system that's driving the reality forward, and attention or with a little to tune in and to listen to that and to be very real with ourselves, right? This is your sacred ceremony. This is your sacred practice, right? And so you're the one that begins to create that for yourself. But once again, we got to throw the rule books out the window. We do. I too have been having to go through this where I'm throwing the rule books out the window, and as a result, it's like sometimes it feels uncomfortable. But the more that I surrender to that loving embrace of who I am, and recognizing that the way I thought things were and the way I think things are is constantly changing. I open up to a new truth. I open up to a new opportunity. I open up to a new experience, and I give myself an opportunity to rewrite my story in a way that feels right for me, right? So it's no longer living these pathways based upon other people's perspectives or perceptions, but rather me creating a pathway that feels good and aligned for me. And same with you. You're the one that's creating the pathway. So why not create a pathway that feels good and feels aligned for you, right? And there's always going to be opinions. There's always going to be judgments. There is always going to be comparisons, right? And even that is creating a limitation. So clear, cancel, delete that, and before that and better, right? People have a right to their opinion. People have a right to their judgment. People have a right to their own belief system. But at the end of the day, define your reality, define your existence that feels right for you, because at the end of the day, it's for you. And the more that you share that good feeling reality with yourself and with others, the more you start to attract people that want to do the same, that want to create those realities and want to share those realities and live in those spaces and realms that feel good, that feel unified, and where we can get along and where we can work through our polarity and where we can dance, sing, play, we can enjoy those things, right? We've gone through a lot in the past 2 years that has created a lot of separation, a lot of distance. And as we are healing those wounds and we're transitioning out of those realities where those things occurred, and they become further and further away from our own experience and our own existences, the more we recognize that it really is time for us to play together and share together and join together. And I've been feeling this, all day. It's kind of been that energy of like, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like magic. There's no place like home. Like, where are the people? What are we doing? Right? I want to go home. Want to go home. And that's a key indicator that we're getting there. That's a key indicator that we're transitioning there. So whether or not the home is a destination for you, or you're on that journey to home, or you're on that journey to discover what that home is for you, right? It's very much so here for us. So whether that home is, an actual physical location, or it's being with your loved one, or being with your partner, or it's finding home right where you're at, you know, it's very, very, very important that we feel into those spaces and know that they are available, they are possible, especially when it comes to that paradise home, right? I feel like that's something that a lot of us as star seeds and indigos tune into a lot, is where's that paradise home, that star home, that galactic home, right? And I even had a moment the other night where I looked up at Orion and just broke down. And I was just like, I want to go home, because there's been so much discord with the Orion Wars and the Orion lineage that it was nice to be able to see the archer in the sky and to feel that longing, right? But to recognize that star code, that space, that paradise exists within you, right? To birth a reality of paradise, it begins with us. It starts with us. It starts with our internal condition of what do we need to be able to create that paradise from within and be able to expand that out, right? Because that's how we birth the creation through us, is we hold paradise long enough in our heart, within our home of the body, the temple of the soul, which is you, the vehicle, the vessel. We hold that, and then the reality begins to align to that, right? But we also have to see paradise in all that we do, right? And a lot of that has been in like this in nature, just being able to highlight and amplify in on that paradise and that magic of the simplicity and the stillness and the non-judgment of this space, and just holding that long enough to open up that portal, walk through, and to be able to see that within my reality. So if you see a flower as a portal, guys, you can tune into that portal and find the magic of that flower, amplify it through your field, then all of a sudden you're living and walking Eden here on planet Earth. So these realities, these realms, these experiences that I speak of, they are here and now, but they're within the subtle realms, and we've got to take a snapshot of that moment within our own cellular body, hold it, and then live it, breathe it, and walk it in all that we do. And that's a part of that alignment. So a part of that newness that I was talking about in about the alignment is we hold that paradise, we hold that star code. We hold that galactic self. We hold that nurture. We hold that heaven. We hold that Eden. Whatever it is that you want to call it, that's for your expression. That angelic tone, that mastery tone, that magic tone, whatever it is, you hold it for you long enough, and you'll start to see the things that do not align with that, and then you begin to remember how to bring those things into alignment. And sometimes it's as simple as just backing everything away and rewriting your story. Sometimes it's going to sleep. Sometimes it's changing your routine, changing your diet. Either way, it's about you bringing that into alignment, and you do that through your purified self with purified intention, and for highlighting the awareness within you on how to get that done. Okay? So very much so. This is how we harmonize with those paradise codes and those paradise keys. And I've heard this too. A lot of people like, when's New Earth showing up? When's New Earth showing up? It's here. Gaia is expressing it in every now moment. But we have to tune in to listen to it, and we have to be the one that embodies that fully. Right? We're the one that has to embody that fully. And that's a part of the gift of these experiences is the more that we walk this path, the more that we awaken, the more that we ascend, the more we open up to receive what this miracle is, and the more we spend times with the subtle realms, the subtle magic begins to show up before us. And that's when we hit those aha moments, is when we finally see it, and not just see it, but we feel it and we know it, that it exists within us, right? And this is where we begin to defy logic, right? These realms defy logic. They defy belief. And a lot of these aha moments are very silly and subtle, but they're the ones that reignite hope within us, right? And they're the ones that take us in a new direction. We just have to believe in the miracle again and trust that the miracle exists and trust that the miracle is going to show up for us, right? Whatever that is for us. Whatever that is for us. Okay? See? Nice, Brandon. Nice. Yeah, and yesterday, this happened to me too. Was my brother went live and did a reading, and he's like, it was something like, abundance is coming in, right? And it was like right when I signed off, I went out and my neighbor's like, hey, I got a bunch of food. You want some food? And they like dropped celery sticks on me and tortillas and chicken, and it was like fiesta. It was just like make it rain food on Corey, and I was like, yeah, right, right, and like that was a miracle. And then like getting a huge box of oatmeal, like a 40 pack of oatmeal. I'm hugging it like a teddy bear on Christmas morning. That to me was my miracle, right? And that in itself was like, wow, this magic does exist, right? This magic does exist. So whether it's you're getting a box of oatmeal, or you get a hug from a friend, or you get a call from the person, or you fall in love with someone, or you find a beautiful tree, or you see a gorgeous color, or you receive a compliment, or you receive that check, right? Once again, we're the one that defines the miracle. And the simplest of things can be a miracle if we choose to see it as such. But we're the ones that have the choice to see it as such and to feel it as such, because we're the ones that are writing in these stories now, right? So, anyways, yeah, I love sharing food. Sharing food is the raddest. Good. All right, guys. Well, I love you all. Thank you for showing up and showing out. Anything else? No, no, I think we're done here. I think we're done. So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for being a part of this tribe. And thank you for sharing your expression with me, and for showing up and for supporting. I really do appreciate you guys. So, all the links are in the description box, foundersoflight.org, and all the other subtle things and subtle keys. I still have 3 bracelets available. So if you guys want to purchase a bracelet, check over the community page. I've got pictures up there. Um, I'm actually going to be wrapping some new stuff today for myself to prototype. And remember, I still have the Dream Shields and wands. So if you're interested in a Dream Shield, or you're interested in a wand, or you're interested in some sort of custom artwork, custom light encoded art, please reach out. I'm working mostly with wood now. And so we're working with Gaia's realms, and where to achieve more wood, and where to receive these things, and we're also giving back as well. So a portion of the proceeds will be donated to nature preserves and natural resource funds that are working with humanitarian projects to plant trees all over the world. And I'm still trying to discover what charities exist that are working with this. And so if you guys have any good humanitarian projects that you know of that support natural preserves, whether it's wildlife preserve or it's actually planting trees, please reach out to me. A lot of this is it would be good to hear if there are people that are on that track or on that trajectory that we could start sending some money to and supporting, especially when it comes to the wands and working with Gaia's elements, is I want to make sure that we're taking portions of those proceeds and giving it back to Gaia, so we don't keep perpetuating the cycle of just taking and not giving. And so if you guys know of anything, please reach out. Yeah, it'd be fun to start our own charity. It'd be cool to get some people together to start our own charity. It would be fun. There's just so many projects that are going right now and so many downloads that like I really am trying to still have enough time for self and to like meet up with friends and to socialize and to move and to get done what I need to get done. But eventually it'd be cool to do a charity and to start a charity, and to start working on those fun projects. So guys, we're gonna formally close out this session, formally close out this reading. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for being a part of this mission. I wish you well, and I will see you guys soon. All right. Mwah.